In this video, we're going to solve linear equations in one variable as a reasoning process. So the first few, we're just going to talk about finding a mistake that the students made in one-step equation, two-step equations, and so forth. And then we're just going to solve some equations with fractions. All right, so the first one, the actual equation's in black. The student's work is in red. Go ahead and take a second and see if you can find the mistake. And then we're going to talk about the mistake they made. So you can pause it as I go through and then just unpause when you're ready to hear the answer. Alright, so the first step says subtract 20, or I'm so sorry, subtract 2. Negative 18 minus 2 is negative 20. First step is great. We notice the steps occurring here, the mistake. 4 times 4 isn't 1x. 4 times 4 would get me 16x. So that's not canceling or simplifying that 4x to move the 4 over. So our mistake falls here. 4x equals negative 20. To get the x by itself, you need to divide both sides by 4, and x equals negative 5. Because in this step right here, that would get us 16x equals negative 80, which is not going to get us the correct answer. Alright, and number 2, our mistake is right away. That's a positive 4. So 4 plus 4 would actually get me 8. It wouldn't simplify or cancel them out. So right here is my mistake. I want to subtract 4 on both sides. That gives me negative 6. And then the last step's correct. She divided by negative 2. And x equals 3. Okay, let's look at our last step. We notice right away that negative 3 minus 3 is actually going to get us in this next step 5x minus 6 equals 14, which is totally not correct. Since it's a minus 3 in that first step, I want to add 3 to both sides so that it cancels. Negative 3 plus 3 is 0. Divide both sides by 5. X equals 4. Okay, so the first section is just catching mistakes that other people make that are very common amongst students. In number 4, it says you are solving the following equations. 3/4 plus x over 4 equals 16. Which equation would you get by multiplying both sides by 4? So I'm going to write 3/4 plus x over 4 equals 16. Let's add in another color here. Doesn't look like a different color. And it wants you to multiply both sides by 4. So I'm multiplying the entire equation by 4, which means I distribute the 4 into everything. So my first part will say 3/4 times 4 plus x over 4 times 4 equals 16 times 4. So 3 times 4 is 12. 12 divided by 4 is 3. You also notice you can just cancel out those two 4s. X times 4 is 4x. I'm going to write this one over here just so you can see it. Over 4. Those 4 simplify to just 1, so it's just going to leave an x. You also notice they can go away and simplify over there. And 16 times 4 is 64. So this is what that equation would look like. In number 5, you were solving the following equation. 6 plus x over 2 equals 32. What equation would you get by multiplying both sides by 2? Alright, freeze it, try this one by yourself. It's just like 4, and let's see if we get the same answer. Alright, 6 plus x over 2 equals 32. I want to multiply the entire thing by 2. Distribute the 2 into everything, so the next part of my equation looks like 6 times 2 plus x over 2 times 2 equals 32 times 2. 12 plus x equals 64. And you need to multiply both sides of the equal sign by 2 so the equation stays balanced. If you just multiply this side by 2, it got heavier without doing that. So you need to multiply both sides by 2. All right, if you have any questions, stop into office hours.